Oh God, I love
It
that
was
one.
actually really well put
Hmm.
together, and it was funny, of course, but he really explained very clearly all the elements of comedy, and pointed out some very interesting things. Like one of the things he pointed out, like he was in his discussion of physical comedy. He points out that the physical comedian is basically invulnerable and immortal. The physical comedian can be hit in the head with a ladder. He can fall down a flight of stairs. He can be run over by a car. He can hold a bomb that goes off, and he's fine out. Nothing bad ever happens to the physical comedian on that level. And it's just that sort of thing. He just is. He shows all the different aspects of this kind of comedy and how they work together. Because a physical comedian would not be funny if you hit him in the head and instead he just lies there with blood coming out of his ear. It's like that's not nearly. It's funny for us now, but it would not be physical comedy anymore. It would be pathos and satire, um, which I've seen used, but it's all on this basis. But anyway, that was a British documentary that I really enjoyed. I think it's on YouTube somewhere if you search for it. Probably.
Mm, no, I'm not really a big fan of the slapstick sort of routines myself.
Oh, he covered a lot of different things besides physical comedy. Just the different situations um, and then you've got like Ricky Gervais, who is the master of the Schadenfreude. I guess
Mm.
you'd call it you watch the guy and you're just cringing the whole time. I watched The Office, and it's like the David Brent character. And I mean, that was some of the most hilarious stuff, but it was all just because you were cringing inside about it. How much more awful could how much more insensitive, how much more could he like open mouth and insert foot, as we say.
Remember that one, the family and housing in the UK, right? That one we were watching.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, they got the US shows here.
Oh, Three's Company?
No, the other one. It's where the guy, the woman, and he marries her and taking care of her kids, and he's a drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about yeah, that's a oh God, what was that called? I forgot the damn movie. I was talking to you about it, Mark. I forgot the name of it.
That's a funny one too. Okay.
I forgot the name of it.
It fits a lot of lives in real life.
Yeah.
Huh.
Now the half Gotha is something that really stuck out to me because I was going through some of this stuff, and it's supposed to be a sea creature that purported to inhabit Iceland's waters in southwest and southward towards Helluland. Although it was thought to be a sea monster, research suggests that the stories originated from a specialized feeding technique among whales known as trap feeding. So that could be what that was. It could be the result of trap feeding, like you said with the whales.
Hmm.
Trap feeding is where they puke up their food, right?
I know they puke up their food sometimes. I don't know what they call it.
Yeah, I don't know the name. I don't know what
But I do know that I've heard of whales regurgitating. But I figured anything a whale ate would probably be pretty clearly marked as having been eaten by a whale. I mean, they do chew.
Yeah.
Okay.
So original.
Species as well, subspecies. But yeah.
So the original story comes from this Hafgupa. It's an Old Norse sea creature. It was supposed to inhabit Iceland's waters around the Greenland Sea.
Nice.
So that's probably what happened. If that's where that tentacle came from, it's probably like a whale who maybe regurgitated it, or
Yeah. Yeah.
because they travel around too. That's quite a bit, And it's like we were saying, or like I was saying, these octopuses actually occupy all the way around the west coast of the United States and up around into Japan and stuff. So they get around.
Nice. Well traveled.
Mm-hmm.
I was just reading, and I think Wikipedia then on cuttlefish, not too far away from octopus, octopi, and there's they are all over Western Europe, and all the way to Asia.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I just never pictured them being up in the northern areas, but I guess it's like right here too. They're talking about up near Iceland and Greenland and stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, again, we're talking about what five, according to the Wikipedia article for octopus, 300 different species or subspecies.
When they hide in a iceberg,
the one at the bottom like little holes,
keep
from getting nibbled on by the other fish.
Well, this is after they get eaten. It's called trap feeding. So,
Well, I mean, they would hide for places where they can hide.
now, trap feeding is an innovative, uh, culturally learned feeding strategy observed by primarily by humpback whales and some bride whales, where they remain nearly motionless at the surface with mouths open, creating a trap for small fish like herring. Developed in response to sparse prey, it is more energetically efficient than lung feeding, with whales using their pectoral pectoral fins to guide fish into their mouths. See, I can see that. It, the tentacles or something would come out of maybe the fins or even the throat while their mouth was open.
Hmm.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
So,
Considering the age of it.
well, they never mentioned that in the article either, how old the actual tentacles were.
Yeah, because you look at the size of that. To reach out, like you're saying, it would be a good size long. With this one example, was there not autopsy on it afterwards?
When they said that the tides actually caused problems for them because by the time they got there, what was left of it was all they had. So apparently there may have been more that was on the beach, but the tides were up. It was high tide,
Hmm.
and they had to wait before freaking they could go out there to get the remains.
Hmm.
So I would say that maybe that's what it is. It was the result of trap feeding how it got there. Uh, some whale ate an octopus and decided that they were going to take a vacation to shallow waters, and they decided to go eating and left their mouth open, and what was left of the octopus's tentacles just came out.
It could have been a one fish eating enough fish, and it's just the remaining of one of the previous fish. Oh, I was surprised. They showed that picture of the volcano coming out of the ocean. Well, when a killer whale dies, or any whales die, and they float down to the bottom, they show the wildlife. They show the different types of wildlife that feeds on the dead body of the animal. Plus, they stay right there next to the funnel of the
Volcano.
volcano. And all of the sea wildlife stays right around there. And they multiply. By the time they get done cleaning the bones off, it's a month. And have you ever seen it? Oh, clam. It's a special clam. They can go all the way from the bottom that always straight up, they have a way of pressurizing their soul. They do. They were showing that on wildlife.
So with the Kraken, I don't know if maybe they actually did see that. They may have seen like one of these big octopuses and kind of over exaggerated on it, because like if you remember too, they used to think that what were those I just mentioned them, they were
Mermaids.
they mistaken these sea, what were they called, the sea otters or some shit like that.
Oh,
Manatees?
yeah.
Manatees?
Manatees.
Supposedly, yeah, they thought they were mer people.
Yeah, they were confusing them for mer people and stuff, and like, so that could be a big thing right there. I don't understand how they would think that like a manatees was a beautiful freaking mermaid woman.
Well, if you a sailor that's been at sea for 5 months,
for a year and a half.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that the dog don't think that.
Well, if it's late at night, you're on watch. You might have a touch of the scurvy. They don't have ophthalmologists or optometrists, so you might need glasses, but you can see well enough. Moonlit night, and then this manatee swims a few feet under the water next to the ship. You're looking over and you see this thing. I saw a mermaid. You should have seen her.
Yeah, you may have had some grog, you rum or something.
Yeah, right. The Royal Navy, rum whips and sodomy. So it was like, who knows what? I'm talking 18th century Royal Navy. No, I'm not saying anything about today. And most navies are run that way, to be fair. Herman Melville wrote about that. That's very, very interesting thing. I did find something about that sea serpent sighting. My mistake. For some reason, I had in it was a Royal Navy training ship, and I thought some Prince of the Blood. I know you don't use that particular, but I thought there was some kind of a prince on it at the time, but there wasn't. But it was HMS Daedalus reported a sea serpent sighting, which is alliterative too, and it says here 1850. No, excuse me, 1848. It happened.
Yeah.
Sighted it en route to St. Helena, and they drew pictures of it. They had a lot of witnesses. So close under our lee quarter that had it been a man of my acquaintance, I could have easily have recognized his features with the naked eye. It had no fins, but something like the mane of a horse, or rather a bunch of seaweed washed about its back. The head of the creature was, without any doubt, that of a snake. So
it's amazing.
Good enough for me.
They have one that's on the Wikipedia pages, the Colossus octopus, which is attacking ships, and it was Pen and Wash by Pierre Denis Montfort. It was engraved by Alain Claudia Borsard in 1801, and it was a picture that depicts a huge octopus coming up and just grabbing an entire ship by the freaking sails and everything and bringing it under the water. And they have a couple of them on here that are actually pretty cool. So if you guys get a chance to check out the Wikipedia, it's actually pretty cool.
Actually, I'm looking at it. Well, that's what I was wondering about England during, because I heard about stories,
Well,
English coming up missing.